Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome back and thank you so much for tuning in. You're still watching Smart 24 TV, where we drive your business. My name is Anthony and I'm your host together with
Nampija Gloria.
Absolutely. We are still with the Chief Financial Officer of Dollar Bill Traders. Dollar Bill Traders is a trading company that was started by young people with also a project called My Kamane, where they help people save and invest and of course teach them about financial literacy, how they can access the markets, how they can utilize their savings basically to grow their portfolios and grow into the next Warren Buffetts. Now, Mr. Chikomeko, we've talked about some of the two huge challenges that you have spotted in the market, one of them being regulation.
Yes.
In as far as, for example, the Capital Markets Authority is concerned,
yes,
they say they have tried to reach out. I've seen them in universities, they have had bonanzas, they have had different educational platforms like on TV stations, on radio stations, and they're saying they're doing their best. But still, the impact is quite minimal looking at the numbers. Like Gloria mentioned, just 130,000 traders. It's so absurd in a whole Uganda Securities Exchange market with over 18 companies. What are they not doing right in their education, in their efforts to try to push the market? What are they missing?
I think, yes, I will say that they have really tried, mainly also NSSF, in trying to put out information right over there. But one of the things that you need to look at is the certain level of consistency. Is there actual consistency in having workshops, study seminars, and not just in central Uganda? Okay, we really forget a lot about the other regions of Uganda. Have these sensitization workshops, seminars, have they been pushed to other regions of Uganda? The concentration mainly is in Kampala. That is where the problem is. Then also, as you try to push this information, okay, out there, are you trying to make it kind of user-friendly for the different people in Uganda? Because unfortunately, the majority of the people in Uganda are uneducated. They do not understand these terminologies that you're going to give them, financial markets, what. So it's kind of complex for them. Can you try to get lead agents or lead organizations that can try to also partner up with the local agents in different communities, okay? That can try to change this information and try to put it in the local languages. Ugandans appreciate affiliation to their local languages. Are we having that? No, we are not having that. We're not having that level of consistency. We're just focusing in Uganda. Then also when we look at one of the leading brokerages in the country that is for the stock exchange market, which is Uganda Securities Exchange, why haven't they yet developed a certain kind of application? A user-friendly application that can give you an update and you can easily see the performance of the different stocks that are listed. You know? Or are you giving people that ability to follow through on something? They need to have developed an application.
So they haven't leveraged technology.
Exactly. How are you leveraging some of this smart technology? I see it's being pushed a lot in agriculture. There's a lot of developments in agriculture, smart agriculture. But when it comes to the Uganda Securities Exchange, please, can we have an application for the general public that has different languages, local languages, for the country that gives out some of this information, and even some of free education? You get?
Yeah.
Now that's why you see people fall victims to some of the scammers in the general public. That they're coming out and they would want to get involved in this very liquid market that they see people making large sums of money on globally, okay? But they do not know where to go. So are they facilitating the growth and the development of different educational centers or developing structures? Is CMA making necessary collaborations with the government and developing certain projects where you develop educational structures where people actually go at subsidized prices, courtesy of the government and the regulatory body? So educate people. You don't expect people to be enticed into a market that they do not have knowledge about. The economy of Uganda is agro-based, please. It is agro-based. So people have an inadequacy in the financial industry. That's why you're having individuals. Let me give you an example, such as Aliko Dangote of recent just came out and officially opened the Dangote oil refinery. But you look at the top management, they are Indians and Egyptians. Why do you think that's the case? It's because there is a certain limiting factor that has to do with Africans failing to understand working ethics, failing to have sufficient knowledge on some of the dynamics of the global markets. You cannot engage in any business just looking at fulfilling the satisfaction of the needs and the wants of the local market. You have to understand global trends. Please, understand global trends. Now, if you want people to come into these markets, can you give them information on some of the performance of these companies that are listed in the country and also globally? Give them something to see. The global markets have an advantage. They have a channel called Bloomberg. I think she came through at office and she was wondering, so this is what you're ever watching. It's giving us all this information. Can you imagine? To the whole world. Accessible even on YouTube. Yes.
And I think Smart 24 TV is also here to do something about
No, I've really, ever since I've been young in the game, I've come up seeing some of these things, these programs on Smart 24. Even there is an individual, a gentleman, a friend, I think the nickname is calls himself the President. I have seen him here, he normally talks about algorithms, okay, in the market, trying to really push it out there. So I want to really say, can the government fully have support for some of these televisions that choose to have such programs that are educating really the millennials? The target is the millennials. Push the information to the millennials. Okay? And through this is to try to look at broadcasting companies, such as Smart 24, that try to have such programs actively for the millennials. Okay? Let us have active promotions, marketing, and activations out there. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Mr. Ardney,
Yes, please.
what do you think makes global markets more attractive than our local markets here?
Okay. The very first thing is that you have to understand is that they have the educational institutions that actually have these course units. So people actively study. Then also, apart from actively studying, they actively practice. The individuals that are lecturing them are individuals that actually own fund management firms.
It's not some lecture professor.
That is the problem with our educational system.
Yeah.
The guy has never done anything in business, but he's the one teaching you about business. You're in trouble. Talk on the company, you only value and you are able to pass it through all the dynamics of the market, but it's you that is teaching. But that's what you're having in the global markets. That for them, the lecturers, the individuals that are involved, actually own asset management firms, they have successful businesses, they're in different collaborations and projects.
Yeah, they have hedge funds.
Exactly,
Like
they own.
Buffett. Yeah.
So this guy comes in and has a part-time at this University of Harvard, and they're coming in and they're teaching people actively on actual things they understand.
Yeah.
I think I will say that the advantage is to the engineers. Normally they have lecturers and tutors that own engineering firms, surveying firms, valuation firms. So that's why you see that even when the students are still in universities, they can actually still go to field and make some money to survive at campus, which is not for the business individuals. I did personally a business course at university back in the days. And I can tell you, if it was not my own personal drive and ambition, I would still be out there struggling, just as many individuals that are really coming to interviews and you're like, this individual cannot provide an actual solution or be an asset to the company. That's why you see the salaries, they don't go above 500,000. You did business, human resource, business, international business, what? Same stuff.
Yeah.
Same stuff. So, the other thing, you have active involvement of the government globally. I can tell you that. You're having the government working hand in hand with regulatory bodies, such as the main ones, the central banks. Because if you want to control the value of your currency, locally and globally, you must work hand in hand with the central banks, because they develop the monetary policies that are going to affect the decision of the institutions whether to buy or to sell the different financial assets. If you want to encourage borrowing, you decrease interest rates. You decrease interest rates. We have had heavy investments across all private sectors globally. Normally when you see the central bank cutting interest rates because it becomes cheaper to borrow. So it means heavy investment in the economy.
Private sectors.
But also to try to control it so that you do not inject a lot of money in the economy. Okay? You try to again also try to increase the interest rates.
We've seen that recently with now the central bank rate stuck at 10%.
Yes, exactly. So you cannot see the power that they have. So can the government hand in hand come in and actually get involved? Okay? Just as what the global markets are doing. Then also,
when you talk about government, I remember the Honorable Matia Kasaija,
yes, please,
at the end of the third quarter of 2022, they were presenting a report on how the unit trusts or collective investment schemes had performed. And they had grown to a very exponential rate, at a very exponential rate.
Yes.
And he said, I don't know about this thing. It's called unit trust, but Ugandans really should get involved.
Yes.
Meaning, if a Honorable Minister
yes,
of Finance, for example, was hearing of the investment for the first time, or a collective investment scheme, how about the whole ministry who is giving, for example, the unit trust attention with the rate of return it's giving, with also the value it's creating for young people, and especially the economy.
And that is what I think I also put across at first, that we are having different bodies in the country that are really looking at trying to come out for the average Ugandan or the people in the lower class. These companies or the asset managers realize that they fight mostly alone. They really try to put out
penetrating the market.
Yes, alone.
Yeah.
As I told you,
support.
Yes, there is no actual support for some of these bodies. Okay? Though I will say
we have government focusing, or for example, Emioga, PDM.
Yes.
They're saying we want to put money in people in the money economy.
Yes.
Shouldn't also their focus shift on some of these very critical
it runs the world.
Investments?
I will say financial markets run the world, whether you like it or not. I'll give you an example, the foreign exchange market. It has to do with the buying and selling of currencies globally, which has to do with the money. Now, if you're not coming into such an industry, okay, to try to grow it and promote it and fully give it all the support and the necessary resources, okay, there has to be another reason. I do believe the government has its interests, okay, it has its interests. I won't really drive much into that, but if they are not really tackling or trying to dive into a specific industry, there is a reason that they have. An agenda that they have. Because at the end of the day, think about this. Would you want to give people to access to information or resources to an industry that is very liquid? Imagine the foreign exchange market having a floating volume of over 6.6 trillion. Would you really want to give people that power? To give them the necessary skills and understandings on how to make that money.
But why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Because when people are wealthy, when people have money in their pockets, on their accounts, you have less of the gangster crimes we are seeing with people invading banks and microfinance institutions with guns to take 60 million.
Yes.
Wouldn't you?
People are frustrated. As I said, the interests. That is one thing that you must have interests. What are the interests? If there is no involvement in a specific sector, the interests are not there for them. It's not in their interest for them to be actively involved there. But they have also tried, honestly, to pass through some of these organizations like fund managers like NSSF. NSSF has really tried to really put out the information out there on how people can actively save. One thing about Ugandans don't save. They have this saying of Zokola Zoria. So that's why you're having buzz boom. Buzz are booming. You know, someone is making money for Saturday and Sunday. Oh, sorry, not even Saturday and Sunday. Every day these days there is a promotion. There is what promotions every day. So people are always in the bar.
City at danger.
City at danger. But city at danger when your generation, you're cursing your generation. You're not lame. You have the ability to provide. It's no longer about just putting your kids through school. Please understand how Indians do their thing. Understand how the ruling family does its thing. Understand how that you must understand that things are generational.
Yeah.
Do not just stop. Actively involve your children in some of these projects that you have. But you said you're paying for them expensive trips to go out there for Afro Nation, Portugal, what? Expensive trips. Then at the end of the day, the business is centered around you. And when you die, unfortunately, the business dies with you. Because you did not pay attention to try to teach, okay, your offspring how to actively get involved in the family business.
Yeah.
Okay? So those are some of the things that I do believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can we use these financial markets for liquidity in businesses? How can we use them for savings?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, people need to understand one thing, that learn to diversify your investment portfolios.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yes. It does not matter whether your business grosses ridiculous sums of money. Understand one thing, that things change. They might be above your control. So please, spread out to different
Asset classes.
Yes, asset classes. Spread out to different asset classes.
How do you do it? For example, let's say you have 100% your income, monthly income.
Yes.
Listen, now let's see, for you look like 100 million. You earn 100 million a month. Let's just say you earn 100 million or 100%. How do you partition it? For example, yes.
I will borrow some words of wisdom from some of the individuals that I look at. I do believe in learning from those that are far better than you. It is very hopeless and a disadvantage to you to be having a lot of pride and ego and say that I can do this myself, yet you can really try to learn from someone else. Grant Cardone says, okay, that you should be able to be in position to save 40% of your gross income monthly. If you haven't yet reached that level, you need a lot of work to put in. You need to be able to do that. And then also one of our directors at Dollar Bill Traders, Mr. Mugenyi Killian, I talked to him and I'm like, please, you're very successful. In a cent. But please try to give me some information. How are you able to, always have those cash reserves, always be able to invest heavily? And he tells you, control your expenses. Or have knowledge and an understanding about your expenses. The majority of the people live above their means. Yes, you can buy that thing, but can you afford it? Those are two different things. You can buy, you have the money, I have the money, but can you really afford it? You have the money to buy a Lamborghini SVJ, but is it smart of you to actually buy it, bring it into Uganda? Or rather, would you rather invest in real estate? Okay? You look at some of these things. Okay? Diversification. We have different savings options that are present, different bank account savings options that are there. But mainly what I realize with the banks, they have majority of these different savings options mainly for high-end clientele, sadly. Platinum clients.
Yeah, they even have a section where they put that business something, some threatening.
That segregation is really hindering us.
Yeah.
How about the middle class and the
you just go
class?
to the teller.
You just go to the teller, sadly. You cannot access this information. So they tend to care more of these people, the high end, the upper class. Okay? So can we try to also give some of these options to the other individuals out there?
Yeah.
Then also taking advantage of unit trusts. Honestly, I do believe that this is one...
At least everyone can afford that.
Yes, you can, because I think the minimum is 100,000 Ugandan shillings. Then as you can keep putting there any day that you want, the least amount is 50K.
Yeah.
Okay? That is another option. Diversify your portfolios. I've been in coffee, I'm coffee, my money is in coffee, our family did coffee.
Yeah.
Please, trends change. Trends change, and some of these things you won't have control over them. Then invest in yourselves. Can you please invest in yourselves? Look to get better every day. Don't say that I have reached. No. Get knowledge and an understanding, of some of the different things that are out there. Companies keep on having different seminars, workshops, and they put a fee. Now the majority of the people are discouraged by the fee. Me, I pay 100,000 for that seminar, but you forget something. Social capital, come on. One of the things you need to invest in, people that are going to pay 100,000 to go there are people that have done something for themselves. And you would want to get those contacts. You want to make those collaborations, those meetings. So if you're not going to invest in your social capital, you need to be able to make a phone call. If you can't make a phone call and you're a one-man army, you're failing.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Chikomeko.
Yes.
As we wind up, of course, we're going to be having further engagements as our episodes continue on this educational platform. Because as Smart 24 TV, we promised to support business, support young people, and especially fuel financial literacy in Uganda. As we wind up, what would be your message, especially to young people who are actively engaged currently in trading, for example, Forex and crypto, as well as trading in stocks? What would be the motivation? What should be their vision? Where should be they looking at, especially when they are in the midst of a market that seems not to be that interested in a government that seems not to give enough attention to them? What would be your message to them?
The very first thing is that be realistic and set realistic goals. The problem with these millennials of late is that they want to put in less work but achieve a lot. Okay.
In a short time.
In a short time. So when they, like you see here, we have talked about 6.6 trillion.
Yeah.
Now the hype will be about flipping. That, you know what, if I come in and I think open up a trading account and deposit $1 million or $300, I'll be able to flip it to $5,000 US. Then the next thing is, then I will buy a car, then I will buy beer, then I will have girls. Then so there is that childish thinking that is out there whereby you're actively involved in trying to please the general public instead of actually looking at developing yourself and the interests of the economy. So please have a purpose when you're engaging in this industry. Have a purpose. If you are getting access to a very liquid industry and you're able to actually pull out money and actually make consistently money, can you try to see on how to invest in this economy, mainly in the private sector? Then also the other thing, get educated. Stop this thing of having sessions with people, mentors out there that are saying that I'm going to teach you for 1 hour. Please also the mentors that are out there. You already know the issue that we have in this industry, that we have a lot of the negative energy is beyond our control. The bias is there because of these scammers that are out there. Then you come in and you give me sufficient information teaching someone about an industry that runs the world in 1 hour. Then you tell someone, fund your account.
In 1 hour?
Yes. You can imagine.
100,000.
Just fund the account because you're in business with a broker. You should be ashamed of yourself, especially if you have the right information and you're selfish that what you care about is just want to give me, now I have another program, again the fee is this. Then next month I also have another program, the fee is this. So you keep on having discounts on discounts on discounts on discounts because it's how you survive. Please do better. Do better and give the right information out there. We're trying to grow the industry. We're trying to push it forward. Okay, that's why also I want. That's what's limiting some of the big individuals that are in the industry. Actually, they're quiet. We meet them out there. You see, you meet them. Some of the big guys that have been able to make so much from the industry,
saying nothing.
Yes, but they do not want to say anything because they will be looked at as crooks. Because of these kids out there that are just having this hype. Okay, making social media videos, flossing and flossing and flossing. That childish stuff, so they do not want to engage with that. So that's why you see when we have such platforms, okay, we are able to invite some of these individuals that can give the actual information out there to the general public. So please get educated, do the things the right way. Do not drop your job and say net doesn't need to be a trader. I want to be a trader, so I've left my job. Foolish decision.
Yeah.
You need capital, you need equity, you need to learn.
Income.
Yeah. I do not encourage individuals to drop out of education institutions or leave certain professions because now I need to go and do trading because I want financial freedom. Please understand the statement. Understand the statement of financial freedom, what actually it means. Okay? Learn. Go into go and ask for that job so that you understand what it means to work with other people, what it means to be delegated responsibilities. Okay? But this thing of saying, no, me, I want financial freedom, what? Because you don't want to be told anything, you don't want to make reports, you don't want to be answerable to someone, you don't like appraisals. Please, these are things that make you better, that are going to enable you to build an empire in the business world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Chikomeko,
Yes.
for those very, very wonderful, wonderful insights. Looking forward to more interactions.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Gloria,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from us today. This is, of course, a new edition of Financial Markets. We're going to be having more of these during the week, where we educate young people, where we educate the public on investments in financial markets, just besides looking at what is happening. But do you understand the facts behind the figures, behind the graphs, behind the arrows? Do you understand what the implications are of these movements? Next time, we'll be talking about particular investments, especially in Forex, and see why it is important for us to know how to invest in Forex. Is it a business? Is it something that I do on the side? Or is it something that I only do in my free time? And that's it. My name is Anthony, and I'm so glad you joined us today. I've been with Gloria, Arivana Nampija, and of course my producer, John Paul. And of course, I'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a good day. Bye for now.
Smart 24